Hey, welcome to Zach's Tech Turf and our second version of Ask Me Anything. If you guys are following me over on social media at Zach's Tech Turf, then you'll have already known that I've been on vacation for the last 9 days, and honestly I don't have enough time to make another video, so let's just hop into a Q&A. Let's get into it. Enjoyed Tech asks, what do you do for work outside of YouTube, that is? I actually have never told you guys this before, but I'm currently active duty in the Air Force. I don't really want to get too in-depth to that, but yeah, active duty Air Force. Enjoyed Tech also asked, how do you find time to do all these videos? Which is a great question because sometimes I don't even know how I get all these videos done. As you guys know, I upload 4 videos every single week. One of them is Weekly Download, which is my weekly tech and PC gaming news series. One is Gaming on a Sunday Morning, which is where I review a new game every Sunday morning and drink some coffee with you guys. And then I have 2 tech videos. Probably the biggest factor to that is my wife, who always lets me do this while she's working on projects around the house, taking care of the dogs and stuff like that. So I'm very thankful for her as she lets me do this hobby of mine while the most important stuff gets done. Speaking of which, Exactly Sony asks, can we see a face reveal of your wife? It would be kind of weird to just show you guys a picture of her, so I'm gonna post this picture right here of both of us. And speaking of which, I highly encourage you guys to follow my personal social media accounts. I'll link the Instagram here and then my Snapchat down here. My personal accounts really have nothing to do with tech, but I think it would be a good idea for you guys to see my life outside of the tech world. Most of it has something to do with fitness, but yeah, if you guys are interested in following those, I highly encourage you to check them out. CS Tech Studios asks, how do you go about getting sponsored from tech companies for review products? The biggest thing is put yourself out there. I would highly recommend getting an Amazon profile page and just start reviewing everything in your house, whichever niche you want to go, whether that be tech or anything really. Just create a very nice, organized, and professional Amazon profile page. I get tons of emails every single week from people creating products on Amazon, and they tell me, hey, we found your Amazon profile page. Do you want to review this product? A lot of times they don't find my YouTube channel. Sometimes they do, but yeah, most of it's through Amazon. So set up a good public profile on Amazon. And as far as getting products that you actually want to review, you just have to hustle, honestly. A good example I have is with this OP seat. I actually saw a tech YouTuber that had about the same amount of subscribers that I did, and I saw that they got sponsored by OP seat, and OP seat never contacted me, so I reached out to them. I tracked down their social media, Twitter or Instagram, which a lot of the big companies have these days, and I told them, hey, this is who I am. I want to bring value to you. I want to review your chair. I think my audience would love it. And yeah, I did the work in that. Most of the time companies will come to me, but for the few products that I actually want to get sponsored by or I actually want to review, I'll reach out to them. You just have to find some way to contact them with social media or whatnot. Lone Wolf Reviews says, will you be doing any collabs with any YouTubers in the future? I actually just semi-recently did a collaboration with Pat over at Socket Sanctuary. I'll have that video linked up here. We did a $50 new versus used graphics card video, and it actually turned out to be a lot of fun. But one thing that I learned from that is I don't want to do collaborations with people who are so different from me. Me and Pat, we obviously review tech products and stuff, but he's much more of a mellow guy and I'm kind of like more upbeat, and our audiences didn't really click that well. So the next collaboration I do, I want to be very specific with who I do it with. I want to have the same type of vibe, the same type of audience, and that way we click better, because honestly a lot of his audience had some negative things to say about me just because I'm a little bit too upbeat for them. So yeah, I'm gonna be very specific, but I am trying to find people to collaborate with. Smaggy asked, favorite game of 2017? Whenever I put together these questions for this video, I actually found out that there's not that many good games out in 2017. I mean, we've had a lot of mediocre games that a lot of people are kind of excited about, but there hasn't been one game specifically that has stood out to me as my favorite game. I would say the best game so far that has been released is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I actually benchmarked that with budget graphics cards. I'll have that video linked up here. And as much as I haven't played that game, I think that's probably my favorite. I just want to spend more time on it. But yeah, no games other than that have really stood out to me in 2017. But there are a few that I'm super hyped for. I hope Destiny 2 doesn't suck. Mr. Clyburn asks, does it matter how much memory you have on your PC? Absolutely it matters how much memory or RAM you have on your PC. I think a sweet spot right now for budget builds is 8 gigabytes. We're only starting to see a couple games take advantage of more than 8 gigabytes. So I personally use 16, which unless if you are a super heavy user, you won't need more than 16. I know some people go up to that 32 range, but that's really not needed for the average user, or even a little bit above average user. But yeah, it definitely matters. Memory has everything to do with how many tasks you can do at one time. I actually went into this in regards to gaming. I did an 8 gigabyte versus 16 gigabyte RAM test for a bunch of different games, and you can click that video up there too if you want to check that out. Apple Maxter Race says, are 4-core CPUs going to be dead by the end of 2017? This one actually got me thinking pretty good, because this is actually a possibility. The 4 cores are definitely not going to be dead by 2017, but we're definitely saying goodbye to them in 2017. We're going to be featuring 4-core CPUs for a long time, especially in budget builds when we're buying used parts and whatnot. And then Intel and AMD are always going to have to release those budget CPUs, and they're not going to be able to release super budget 6-core, 8-core, now 16-core CPUs. So they're definitely not going away, they're definitely not dying, but yeah, we're saying goodbye to them, and that's pretty exciting. Techno Phoenix 1 says, I see that you use a lot of screen capture / game capture in your weekly download tech news show. What software do you use? I pretty much keep this simple for the most part. I use NVIDIA Shadowplay or NVIDIA Share now with any NVIDIA graphics card I use, and I use AMD Relive whenever I'm using an AMD card. The only exception to that is I'll use Morillus Action, which is a paid software. I actually paid for it, believe it or not. But I use that if I'm using a super budget card and Shadowplay or Relive aren't working too well with that budget card, or if I'm recording gameplay for games when I'm not using graphics card at all and I'm using like Intel built-in graphics or something like that. So yeah, NVIDIA Share, AMD Relive, and Morillus Action. Well, that wraps up our second version of Ask Me Anything. I want to thank you guys so much for asking me questions so I can make this quick video, because honestly, I did not have any time to make any more videos this week, and I don't want to mess up my upload schedule, so thank you very much for asking. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please drop a like down below to help support my channel, and as always, thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more Zach's Tech Turf videos.